Shri Radhey, dictation exercise 30. Dictation 80 words a minute. Start. Sometimes it seems that the more we know and the more we learn, the less remarkable we consider our learning and our knowledge to be full stop. When other people can do something that we ourselves cannot do, we think that those people must be very wonderful indeed. We think that they must be of much more worth than we ourselves are. Full stop. Yet, as soon as we can do that same thing, we think nothing of it and begin to look round for something new to learn or do full stop para. It even seems that we act in this same way in our thoughts about the new goods and the new machines that are so often and so readily put before us in these days. It is perhaps difficult to continue to find each new thing so very remarkable when new and better things follow one another at such a great rate. Full stop. We still find ourselves greatly interested, however, when something quite new comes along. Full stop. The first plane to fly over water looks a very poor thing if we see it now, but it certainly caused more talk and general interest than the largest and most modern plane causes today, let it have 4 engines or 8 engines or as many as the engineers wish. Full stop. Planes are no longer new and they are hardly even news. Full stop. The public expects its engineers and its men of science to bring out newer and larger and better planes. Full stop. For what does the public pay taxes, if not for such things? One might ask. Full stop. Para. The first man made object to free itself from the earth's pull and to fly off to the outer distances may be worth several lines in the newspaper. Full stop. The second such object may be much bigger and it may leave the earth much more quickly, but because it is not the first, it cannot hope to get the interest of the public in the same way. Full stop. Para. In these days, we have the most wonderful machines to do for us addition, division, and other sums. Full stop. 1,000 sums in a second is nothing to such a machine. Full stop. Quickly and still more quickly the figures fly, but the public hardly cares. Full stop. It is probable that there was much more interest 300 years ago in the first adding machine ever made. Full stop. That first machine was made by a young man in the attempt to lessen the labors of his father, who was responsible for taxation and who worked long hours adding up figures. Full stop. Further machines followed, and it is interesting to note that all those early machines were made by people working by themselves, all on their own. Full stop. In these days, the usual thing is for organized workers to act together in such matters. Full stop. Para. The first machine could work only addition or take away sums, but in a few years a machine was made that could be used for division and that represented a most important step in the development of such machines. Full stop. Para. The quick development of this country during the machine age, 100 or more years ago, brought with it a growing demand for adding machine. Full stop. Business and industrial growth took place side by side with the growth in the size of the banks and the increased use of the credit system. Full stop. It was natural that the time soon came when most banks and offices could not think of operating without the help of aiding machines. Full stop. Para. Now we have machines that can do the most surprising and difficult pieces of work. Full stop. Difficult sums that might take a man a year or more to do are carried out in a matter of minutes. Full stop. If the machine goes wrong, it knows that it has done so, and it take action to put things right. Full stop. These machines are said to have a memory, they are even said by some to think. Full stop. In fact, some man somewhere has to do the thinking first, and the machine acts afterwards according to that man's instructions. Full stop. It cannot act by itself, but can do only what it is told to do. Full stop. It cannot therefore be said to have a mind and to be able to think. Full stop. The machine can, however, store facts and figures and make use of them later, and in that way it perhaps can be said to have a memory. Full stop. The machines are certainly wonderful, but in our daily lives we hardly give them a thought. Full stop. They represent just one of so many remarkable things after all. Full stop.